But so the thing I mentioned about uniques, it's not unprecedented for uniques to change. They did it. We saw it in like 1.08 and 1.07. They talk about '08 Valks.
I guess that is
like
true.
that.
I will just real quick. I'll jump in. I did forget about back then that they did change that stuff before. So good call.
Yeah, so I think there's some precedent. That was a completely different company, and I think you're absolutely right that it's easier, hands down, to make rune words seemingly than it would be to make a unique item, or or even change items, or even make new ones. You're going to have a lot of legacy items on the server, so it's another great point that you put up. These unique items that we already have are not going to change with us. We are, by changing rune words, by changing the unique items, you're creating a bunch of legacy items for non-ladder that will no longer be able to be found. So maybe that is part of the reservations. We've seen something like an '08 Valk. Now that you can't find it anymore, it goes crazy on the aftermarket in terms of value and balloons out of control. Maybe they're trying to prevent some sort of situation like that. But if it's always buffs, like if you're always buffing the item and you're not nerfing anything, then it really shouldn't affect things too much. But we're just speculating now, but it would be interesting. If I had control over what changes were made,
lucky for a day.
Yeah, that would be my change. I'd love to rework the unique item systems.
I forgot about that whole the '08 Valk and the old vamp gaze and stuff. I completely forgot about that. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a good point. I actually kind of now, like, looking back on that old '08 stuff, it's super, I kind of like the fact that stuff exists, even though, like you said, the whole aftermarket real money type of situation for that. But it's kind of super interesting to, like, imagine the people that still hold a piece of, like, Diablo 2 history from 2002 or something. Like 20 years later, you have this fake code on a server somewhere that you've been holding for 20 years, or that you had gotten from somebody who it's almost crazy. It's
not
it's
to
like
mention to refresh every 90 days to keep it going.
Like these '08 Valks, they're essentially like the original NFTs. Like Diablo 2 invented NFTs, people. You heard it here first.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it creates this piece of history. Yeah, you said it perfectly. You could go down memory lane, look at all these old items, and feel some real nostalgia.
I know. Imagine if somehow like back in the day, some of those old like hacked items survived or something. Could you imagine how much like a hex charm would be looking for right now, or a white ring, or one of the cork bows, or an stuff?
All kinds of crazy items that made their way onto the server.
Oxy rings could be just like, whoo. Yo, fellas, this is a new channel, so double check and make sure you're subscribed up.